the show. Wait, Leslie Rob said what? Leslie Rob said what? What she said? What? Leslie Rob said what?
Well, hello, guys, and welcome to another episode of Leslie Said What. Guys, can you believe it? We are on in season 5, episode 7. I had to double check. I always forget each week which episode it is. But as per usual, guys, thank you all for being here. As you guys all know, if you're watching, you feel free, if you're watching live, to join the comments. We want to hear from you. Any questions, any concerns, any whatever. We just want to welcome you all, and feel free to chime into the conversation via the comments, okay? We want to hear from you. So as per usual, this is an engaging podcast. This is a live podcast. But the most important thing is we want to reach and help teachers in this episode. Those who are, let's be for real, guys. As teachers, we often need a second income, or we need second pay. We're working part-time jobs, or more than one part-time job like I used to. And in this situation, we have Dariana, who is going to talk to us about another opportunity, okay, that using things we already do, okay, to make some money off of it. So this is going to be a great conversation. So we hope that you guys join the conversation. If you are listening by podcast, thank you. If you are watching live, thank you. Either way, thank you all for being here. Well, you guys know I don't like to dawdle. So without further ado, we're going to bring her on. All right, let's welcome Dariana Jimenez. Hey, Dariana.
Hello. Hi, Leslie. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, we're so excited to have you. Oh my gosh. Now, guys, for those of you who don't know, and some of you may already follow Dariana at Teach, Create, Pray, I actually stumbled across her account one day and saw all the things that she's doing with digital resources for teachers. Guys, this is amazing. But before we dive into all of that, all right, Dariana, why don't you introduce yourself? Who is Miss Jimenez?
Sure. So I live in South Florida in Palm Beach County. I'm a mom of 3. I have 3 little kids at home who keep me busy. I'm a wife, of course, and I am a music teacher. So I actually teach elementary music. I did teach gen ed previously for 5 years, and then I switched to music about 4 years ago now. So 9 years in total. And I love it most days. I'm going to be honest. Teaching is hard. It's not for the faint of heart. I don't think it's for everyone. I think I've definitely found my passion as far as like music goes. It's a lot of fun, and I get to, sing and play instruments, and it's a great gig, but it's still exhausting. It's still a lot of work. And then, of course, the pay was never enough. So I did start creating digital resources for teachers. And I sell them on 2 platforms now, on Teachers Pay Teachers, which I'm sure everyone's familiar with, and then also on StanStore. StanStore is probably one that not everyone might be familiar with, but it's just another website where people could post their digital resources. So what I post on StanStore is typically just courses. I don't really post like my $3 worksheets. Those don't go on StanStore. Those just go on TPT. But if I make like a nice course that I want, other teachers to benefit from, then I post it on StanStore. And I've made more than a teacher salary this year. It's my first time making such a big income from just digital resources, which has been such a blessing.
Oh my gosh. So you said you made more than your teacher income on digital resources this year?
This year. Yep. So far, I'm at like almost 58,000, and I make less than that as a teacher. So I'm pretty excited.
Oh my gosh.
I'm working hard. I'm hustling over here, trying to do this maybe full time at some point. I don't know when exactly God will call me out of the classroom, but I think that's the goal, to eventually just do digital marketing full time.
That is amazing. I had no idea that Teachers Pay Teachers and those other offerings, you could make so much money. Now, I knew that like it was enough to suffice for like a part-time income, but I had no idea that it would like more than your normal income. Like, that's amazing.
Absolutely. And I make nothing compared to some of like the top sellers, I mean, everyone's relative, it's all about perspective at the end of the day, but I think I'm just trying to do better than I did last year. So last year on TPT, I made 18,000, which was still good. 18,000 on top of my teacher salary was obviously a huge help. But this year, when I really took it more seriously and just went all in with digital marketing, I've been able to surpass my teacher income, and I have big goals for next year. I'm hoping next year.
Oh, wow.
bigger year with digital marketing.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's so good to hear.
Thank
Oh my
you.
gosh. So, but now what brought you to teaching? Now, I know you said you used to do gen ed and then you shifted to music. So, what brought you to teaching in general?
So I knew I wanted to be a teacher ever since my high school English class. It just, the teacher I had was so phenomenal. And I was like, this is something I could see myself doing. Not high school. I knew I would never do high school, but she was the first one that made me feel like I could be a teacher. And then I went to college for elementary education, got my bachelor's. I graduated 2016 from FAU in Boca. And then this is kind of the crazy God story through how I became a teacher at the school that I'm at.
Yeah.
I student taught at the school that I still work for. So I've only ever been at this school. I have pretty much no experience with any other school besides like the 90-hour per semester that they used to make us do. But like aside from those little like experiences, I've never taught anywhere else because, okay, really quick story. I'm sorry. I love sharing this story.
You're completely fine.
So I student taught from August to November, right? And then my little semester was wrapping up. I was about to try to find a big girl job and find a job teaching. But then a first grade teacher at the school that I was student teaching at, she unexpectedly left. She got a position in the district. So then her classroom was, needing a teacher. And the principal emailed me, would you come to my office? Of course, my heart's going at a mile a minute, not knowing what she wanted me to, wanted to talk to me about. And when she told me that there was a first grade position open, and the crazy part is, the reason why I know it was all from God is like literally the day that she had to leave was the day that I could start working as a teacher. Like just the timing was all impeccable. Like as far as like graduation, my certification and all those little details, like it just all worked out so beautifully. So I did my first technically year as a teacher was finishing out that year in first grade. Then I did another year in first grade. Then I moved to third grade. Then I did third grade again. And then I switched to second grade. So those are my 5 years in gen ed.
Okay.
And then the music teacher left unexpectedly. And then my principal allowed me to switch to music. So I've been at the same school for 9 years, but I think I've taught in 4 different classrooms. It's been a lot of moving around.
That's amazing.
Yes. But this is definitely my favorite.
But that's good because, that honestly speaks to like when it comes to teaching. And I've said this before on the podcast is that sometimes it's not the grade level, it's not. Okay. So a lot of people are like, oh, I quit teaching. Teaching is just not for me. It may not be that teaching isn't for you. It may be the grade level. It could be the school isn't a good fit or the administration is not a good fit. Like it's a matter of finding your fit as a teacher. And it seems like you've done that.
Yeah, I would say so. I still question a lot though, like, is this really what I meant to do for 20 plus more years? You know what I mean? Like, I love it for the experience that I've gotten from teaching has been amazing and I wouldn't trade it. And I love that as a mom, I have the same breaks as my kids and it's very convenient to be a mom and a teacher at the same time as far as like the breaks and we get out at 3:00. Like who could say they get out at 3:00? That's amazing. Right.
Right.
A lot of things that I'm like, okay, honestly, teaching, I don't know what else I would do besides digital marketing. But like, aside from that, I don't think I could quit my job and go be like a realtor. Or, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like
either.
either teaching or digital marketing and that's it. I can't picture myself doing anything else.
I agree. I'm with you. Like, and for me, it's either teaching or something in comedy or speaking engagements. Working in, like you said, digital marketing, but mine's more so on the social media management realm. Yeah. So no, I totally get it. It wouldn't be like, from teaching to, like you said, real estate or something like that isn't a good fit. I'm not a corporate America person, I don't think.
Exactly.
So, something on my own as an entrepreneur, okay, maybe, but definitely not leaving teaching to go to something more corporate.
Office job. I could never.
No. Now, I know you had mentioned something about, you were saying as far as like, maybe someday you could shift to just doing the digital marketing, which would work really well, especially since you're now making more than your teacher salary. But also you mentioned being a stay-at-home mom. Like, I mean, not stay-at-home mom, but if you had to be a stay-at-home mom, that would also be an opportunity.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that definitely speaks to that.
Exactly. And that's what I love about digital marketing is it just gives me like the freedom and the flexibility to work from home. My baby doesn't have to go to daycare. She can stay with me. Just those little things that would be so nice. Or like
Yeah.
even just the flip side of like being able to be more present in my kids, like their field trips, or like we have field day coming up, but I can't volunteer because I'm working all day. You know what I mean? Like just those little things that
Yeah.
it's nice to be a little bit more present in a way with
Mhm.
my own kids if I ever work
Yeah.
in digital marketing. So
Yeah,
we'll
and it's the stuff that like other moms and stuff get to interact in, like to be the PTA mom or to be
exactly.
the field go on a field trip with your kids, like to just be
Mhm.
involved more. And I know a lot of times it's cool because like obviously like if it's an after school play or a play in the afternoon or a holiday pageant or something like that, but it'd be
Mhm.
nice to be a part of the day to day as well.
Yeah, for real, for sure.
Well,
Oh,
okay, so so since you mentioned digital marketing and that, so let's talk about this. So top tips for selling teacher digital resources online.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
so for those of you who are just joining us, Dariana is I don't know how to explain it. Is it like Teach Create Pray it's its own social media thing, but it's also builds into something else which she'll explain about kingdom coaching and things like that. So I just want you guys to
Mhm.
get the full perspective. Like this is not just, hey, this is what she guessed, this is what she no, this is like literally her experience. So definitely wanted to plug that in there
Mhm.
to let them know, you know, because
Yeah,
all of us never want to say we're an expert, but definitely wanted to plug the fact that you got
right.
this.
And I appreciate that. I'll talk first about TPT because I think that's something every teacher is just so familiar with because I think we've all
Mhm.
purchased on TPT at some point. So I started selling in 2021, honestly having no idea what I was doing, literally just winging it. You know, I would create a resource for my own classroom. And then I also had a teacher Instagram account at the same time. So I would post pictures or like reels or videos of my classroom. And just naturally, other music teachers were like, oh, that's really cute. I want that. Where is it? Like, how can I get it? What's the link for it?
Yeah.
So when I started getting a lot of those questions of like, where can I buy that? Where's the link? I was like, okay, this is something people want to buy. So let me post it on TPT. I'll figure out how to, do everything about that. And it was
Right.
obviously a lot of trial and error. A lot of mistakes were made over the years since I didn't invest in a mentor. It was literally just me figuring it out as I went. So
Yeah.
I had my first year on TPT and I did really well. Like, compared to what I thought I was going to make, I actually made 18,000 my first 2 years, 18,000 the first year and 18,000 the second year. So I was like, okay, this is working. Like, obviously people are buying these resources. I mean, the
Yeah.
fact that I can make a $3 product and it could sell thousands of times is just mind blowing to me, right? And
Right.
not only the fact that I'm making money from it, which is obviously really nice, but it's like actually helping people. It's saving their time, it's saving their sanity. Whether it's like a slideshow that I made for my classroom and they benefit from because they purchase it and they can use it immediately. So it's also like I try to look at TPT as a way to serve and help other teachers, while
Well,
also
and
making.
I'm gonna pause you for 2 seconds because believe it or not, I posted something that said TPT one time and people didn't have a clue what I meant. And for those
Wow.
of you who don't know, like as I know, even it was even teachers who were like, "What's
Uh-huh.
TPT?" I'm like,
Oh
guys,
wow.
it's teachers pay teachers. So it's just
Yeah.
a shortened version of saying teachers pay teachers. So that's what
Mhm.
Dariana is referencing first is her selling on teachers pay teachers. And yes,
Yeah.
guys, you heard correctly. She made $18,000 the first year and $18,000 the second year. It's amazing.
Yeah. So this year with TPT, I'm about 26,000 last I checked. The rest of that income is coming from Stand Store. That's how I've made more than my teacher salary, like we already talked about, between the two of them combined. Because it's all digital marketing. It's all digital resources at the end of the day. It's just two different websites that I choose to post on. But as far as
Right.
TPT goes, Teachers Pay Teachers, I mean, there's like a whole thing that goes behind it. I actually made a course called TPT 101 because I just realized a lot of teachers wanted to sell on TPT, but they didn't really know all the ins and outs about it because it's a lot. It's a lot of little details that
A
you got to
lot.
figure out. It is. It's not as easy as some people might assume or think it is. So that's why I created just like a very complete course that had all the information they needed to know, literally step by step. So I do sell it on my Stand Store, which is linked down below, but like I don't actively promote it anymore. It's just something that if people stumble across it, they can purchase it. It's literally $25. I made it like as cheap as humanly possible so that any teacher that wants it can access it. But it is
That's
very
awesome.
helpful because there's a lot as
Yeah.
far as like the cover photos, the banners, the description, the titles, the previews, the pricing. Like there's just so many little details. So I try to make it very easy for people to learn. And then I started learning more about courses. I don't
Mhm.
know if you're too familiar with like digital courses. I
Oh
feel like
yeah.
we're all the rage.
I've scrolled through some of yours. So yeah.
Okay. I feel like courses are really popular, especially now, post-COVID days when everything went to virtual. Courses have just like blown up as far as like people making them, people selling them, people purchasing
Courses, master classes,
all of that,
all
right?
of them.
Even, like guides and ebooks. I feel like just everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the type of person, I'd rather buy an ebook over a physical book, to be perfectly honest. I just like having it immediately. I think that's the main thing.
Really?
That's me. I don't know. Maybe not everyone
like the physical touch.
I feel like I can access it. Like if I'm in bed and it's dark in the room, I can just scroll on my phone. Things like that make me like the ebooks better. But anyway,
yeah, no, good point.
But I actually started dabbling in that first. I did an ebook and then I did a guide. I was like, just to kind of get my feet wet in the whole Stan Store thing, because I didn't really know too much about Stan Store either. I was just kind of on everyone's Instagram. So then I realized that selling courses on Stan Store was really the way to go. And that's what I've been doing the past 7 months since May. And that has just taken my sales like through the roof. I'm just like shocked and blown away by all that God's done as far as courses go. Because the thing is with courses, you can create your own, which is fabulous. I've created like 3 courses of my own. It's a lot of work, but it's definitely worth it. But then you can also purchase courses that are already done and just resell it. And it's like this whole thing called master resale. It's a lot of people immediately, they're like, that's a scam, or it's a pyramid scheme, or it's an MLM. And it's none of those. It's not an MLM. It's literally like, let's pretend it's Kingdom Coaching, right? I didn't make Kingdom Coaching. I'm not the creator of it, but I purchased it back in May and now I can resell it. And I've resold it 27 times. Again, a course that I didn't make myself has been sold 27 times. And I've been able to make 100% of the profit. So when I make a sale, it doesn't go to the creator, which is Natalie Breckenridge. It goes to me, which is crazy. That's the thing that people have a hard time wrapping their head around. But that's exactly how it works. And people, when I say people are making like millions with this concept of MRR, it's just mind blowing. Like there's a friend of mine, Heather. I call her a friend. I've never met her in real life, but we've talked on Instagram. She made over 100,000 just in the month of November. She's a former teacher. She sells a course that she didn't make herself, not Kingdom Coaching, but another course. I look at her, I look up to her so much as like just what's possible, just what's financially possible with digital marketing. It's mind blowing. I think the biggest thing is as a teacher, I had so many limiting beliefs about like, this is the most I can ever make. We're always going to be broke. We're always going to be poor, struggling, paycheck to paycheck. That's just our reality because that's how we lived for 8 years. I just thought that that's how it always would be. I couldn't see a way beyond that. Like my husband, he's a visionary. He always has like these huge goals and aspirations, like buying land and investing in this and investing in that. I'm like, but we don't have money to do any of that. Why are you bringing this up when we have no money? And like now my mindset has changed. I'm like, okay, wait, we might not have the money right now, but we can make it happen. Like if it's something we really want, if it's something God puts on our heart, there's ways to make that money now. I never had that hope before. Before it was never a possibility to make more than my 55,000. Now it's like my whole mind has just been like blown with what's possible.
Right.
So yes, I hope that was helpful. I don't know. I feel like I ramble a lot. I'm sorry.
That's literally mind blowing to me. So Natalie Breckenridge, you said created the course. And then, so you purchase it at like a one-time price from her, and then you sell it from there. That is
and
amazing.
Not everyone that buys wants to resell it because it teaches you so much to make your own stuff, to make your own products, to have your own successful business. It's almost like just an added perk. It's like an added bonus. If you want to resell it, you can. That's basically it. So what I actually did, Leslie, is I paused. I sold it for like a month or 2. Then I paused and made my own courses, the TPT 101, and I had a couple others, Classroom Elevation. I focused on those because I didn't want to promote so many different things at the same time. I wanted to be very strategic with what I was talking about. So I put Kingdom Coaching like on the back end, like on the back burner, focused on my own stuff. And then those sold really well. I mean, I made like $15,000 in like 2-3 weeks with TPT 101. Like it was rapid with my $25 course. My $25 course made me so much money just fast. Like the way it happened within 2 weeks was mind blowing to me. But anyways, after that, once those sales kind of died down and I kind of just felt like going back to Kingdom Coaching, the main reason why was because they were adding new modules and new creators in it that made it just so much more valuable than ever before. I just saw that it was like really, really good. And I knew it could help so many people. So I paused my own courses. That's why I don't really talk about my courses anymore. I now go back to just selling Kingdom Coaching. And since I've made that pivot again, going back to Kingdom Coaching, like that's again where the sales have just gone through the roof.
Wow.
So I think it's also just the fact that you can always resell it whenever you want, like at any point. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be forever. It could just be for seasons. Whenever you feel like you're ready to sell it, you sell it. It's really nice to have it as an option.
Well, can you tell us about Kingdom Coaching? Like, what is it exactly?
Yeah, so it's about 40 modules. I actually have 2 modules inside. That's a recent thing. They asked me to create some modules. So I created one called How to Make Your Own Course, how to create your own course, and how to host your own masterclass. So those are 2 modules now inside of Kingdom Coaching. So I'm technically like a co-creator is what you can call me now that I have my modules.
That's awesome.
But that's just something I did just, I don't know, just for exposure and to help people.
Yeah.
But anyways, so it's 40 modules such as like social media strategies, branding, selling digital products, Instagram, like just all the things that you need to know to sell digital resources. It also talks about like business automations, which is really important because that's something I always used to struggle with. People used to ask me for links and I didn't give it to them because I just got overwhelmed with so many requests. And when I learned about like ManyChat and setting up all the business automations, just the fact that it's automatic and I don't have to think about it, it has just been such like a time saver. So anyways, it talks about all that. It just gives you the full picture. But Natalie, she kind of took it like a step further because she already had courses of her own, like how to write your own book, how to publish your own book. She had a confidence course, all about biblical confidence. And she used to sell those for like thousands of dollars on their own. And then she added them inside of Kingdom Coaching for free, just like as more added value. So it's really, I always say Kingdom Coaching is like 4 courses in one. It's not just Kingdom Coaching. There's so many things you can get when you purchase. It's really like a comprehensive thing. If you need mindset shifts, if you need confidence coaching, but then it also teaches you, again, just like how do you even make a digital product? How do you make a course? How do you sell it on Instagram? Like, what do you actually do to get sales? So it goes over everything, which is nice.
Wow, that is mind blowing. Like, I knew this was like obviously something that was impressive, but I had no idea how impressive. This is all amazing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Now,
100 of us now, 1,300 Christian entrepreneurs.
That's amazing. So on the site, like where you said the courses are that you can purchase and resell, is that the Stand Store?
So I sell it on Stand Store, but when you purchase it on Stand Store, whoever purchases it, it gives them a link to School. Are you familiar with School? SKOOL. So School is another website. I know it's kind of confusing with all the websites, but it's a very simple website. It basically has 4 tabs, like 4 main tabs. It has the community tab where you can like ask questions, kind of like, threads. People ask questions and answer them, or you just connect with people. So there's a community feature. Then there's the classroom, which has all the modules. You literally just click on the cover that says branding. You click on it and there are all the videos you need to watch. So, and what's nice about School is like you just click the check marks. So you like keep track of your progress. So you don't basically waste time watching the same video over and over again. So you can kind of keep track of your progress. There's also the calendar tab, which has like any coaching calls. Sometimes we do like live masterclasses with this guy named Richard, he's like my one-on-one mentor now, but I met him like 2 months ago. It's like a recent thing. So he's made over 24 million with digital products. So he's insane.
My gosh.
Yeah, he's insane. Like his numbers just blow my mind, but he puts in the work. He's not a teacher. Obviously he's not a former teacher. He's just a guy. He lives in Puerto Rico. He's from, I think, originally California. He moved out to Puerto Rico and just does digital marketing full time. And he's making a killing. So anyways, he does a lot of like live masterclasses with us inside of Kingdom Coaching. So that's really valuable. And then the other tab is just like members. So you can see everyone that's inside. So those are like the main things. I think really the videos are like the most important. I think the biggest thing too is that people purchase sometimes different courses and they don't take action. Maybe they watch like the first module and then they like give up, life gets busy or they get overwhelmed. And I hate to see that though, because if you're going to invest in something, you got to put in the effort, you got to put in the work, right? You can't just,
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
people expect money to just fall out of the sky because they watched one video. It doesn't work that way. You
No,
got to
not
put
at all. Yes, not at all. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that's just amazing. Now, what would you say to the person who to the teacher that says they'd love to make the extra money, they need the second job, but they just can't find the time or add something else to their plate? How do you manage it all? Especially being,
Yeah.
having 3 kiddos at home yourself, being a teacher, and
Yeah.
then yet doing all this, all the money that you're making selling digital resources.
So what's nice about like something like TPT, let me go back to that for a second. I haven't touched TPT. I haven't opened it in months. I'll be perfectly honest, because everything I sell, I made 3 years ago. And people constantly are finding my resources. Literally every day I get tons of sales from stuff that I made 3 years ago. Now I did go through this summer and like update some of the products as they were looking a little rough, some of them. I wanted to,
Yeah.
make it a little bit better, but I haven't like really put in a lot of effort this year, and I've made over 26,000 just with TPT. So like, I think what I want people to realize is it might seem like a lot of work up front. Like in 2021, it was a lot of work. I was creating
Yeah.
all day long, it felt like. But now that I have it like established, it's just more passive, and it's really nice just to make money in your sleep. Now, I think I don't have a big store. I mean, I have about 59 products, I believe, on TPT, which is a pretty small store. In like the grand scheme of the TPT world, 59 products is nothing. People usually have like hundreds of products in order to make really good money. So I think what helps
59 products that you made $26,000 off of is insane.
Yeah. And they're like cheap, right? Like $3, $5 products. It's nothing crazy. But I think what helps me with TPT is 2 things. One, I'm very specific with my niche. I'm a music teacher. I make music resources. Most of my resources are for music teachers. So the fact that I have like a very specific target audience, I think makes a big difference. I'm not trying to target every teacher in the world because that's not going to help me.
That's not, nor is it realistic.
Mm-hmm. So the specificity, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you're right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's a hard word.
Yeah.
How specific I am, that helps. And then 2, this is another thing I think helps is I use all my own resources in my own classroom. So I have visual proof that it works or that it's pretty on a wall. You know what I mean? Like I'll make a bulletin board, take pictures of it, take videos. That's what I upload to TPT. And then when people are going through my previews, they see it in a real classroom. So they're like, oh, it looks really nice on her bulletin board. It'll look nice on my bulletin board. Does that make sense? I think having it
makes it more relatable and realistic. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Or if they're scrolling on Instagram and they come across my reel and they purchase my resources because of that, like it's all connected. Now I will say, I don't think my Instagram makes the biggest difference though, because the nice thing about TPT is that it is a search engine. People will search music resources, for example. And as soon as you type in music decor, as an example, a bunch of my products pop up. Like they're on the first few pages. So I don't really have to put in a lot of like marketing and promoting and like talking about it all the time because people are just searching for it naturally on their own, So that's nice about TPT. Standstore is the complete opposite. Standstore, there is no search engine. I have to lead people to my Standstore. How do I lead people to my Standstore? Well, it's on my Instagram. That's like the only link you'll see is my Standstore. Anytime I post a reel related to like digital marketing, I'm sure you've seen people say like, comment the word link and I'll send you the link, or comment the word guide and I'll send you the guide. You've probably seen that. Like everyone does that nowadays. It used to just be go to the link bio. Now it's comment the trigger word. And the trigger word is what the business automation is hooked up to, ManyChat. So people get the link automatically through ManyChat, which is so nice, big time saver. And then have the link to my Standstore. It's up to them if they want to purchase or not. So I guess the biggest thing is making sure that they get the link, essentially.
Gotcha. No, that makes complete sense because then that turns into click through so that they can actually purchase and et cetera, et cetera. Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, the ManyChat feature sounds awesome.
Yeah, you don't have ManyChat set up? You definitely should.
No, I definitely don't. That's crazy.
And there's a free, like I have the paid version, just it's a little bit better, but you could just start with the free version and it's really helpful.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sometimes I'll have a reel go viral and I'll get 5,000 comments or 2,000 or 1,000. Like, how am I going to respond to 1,000 comments? Impossible.
Yeah, no.
So ManyChat takes care of all of that. It's super
That's
nice.
amazing. Okay, I definitely need to make a note of that for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Because that's
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah, that's nice. And that takes a lot of the load off, which is
yeah.
again how you manage
Good
it. So
question.
yeah.
Exactly. I think having those business automations in place makes a big difference. Then the other thing about like being a mom, like I try my best when I'm at home to be present with my family, as do all of us
Mhm.
moms and
Yeah.
wives, right? We don't want to
Mhm.
be working 24/7.
Oh
So
no.
I
Mm-mm.
find that what works for me, my little like groove is when my kids are asleep, I'll go on Instagram or I'll make a new product or I'll do something on the computer or on my phone. But I try to do it again when they're asleep. Or maybe if my husband's working late and I'm all by myself with the kiddos, maybe I'll do something real quick. I don't know. I just try to kind of fit it in wherever I
Balance
can,
it out. Yeah.
balance it out on my breaks at work. Instead of like my lunch breaks, honestly, they used to be to like watch YouTube or Netflix. Now I'm working during my lunch break, but I don't
Yeah.
mind it. I see the payoff.
Right.
I think it's just being
Right.
more strategic with your free time in a sense.
Mhm.
Because we do all have 24 hours in a day. I mean, even today, I woke up at 5:30 to work out, which I haven't done that in like a long time, a long, long time. I haven't worked out that early. But like it was a sacrifice that I had to make. I had to lose a little bit of sleep so that I can get a workout in. But to
Mhm.
me, it was worth it, you know? So I think
Yeah.
with digital marketing, it goes down to is it worth it to you? Is it something that you really, really want? If you really
Right.
want it, you'll make it happen one way or another.
And that's what I always tell people. I'm like, how bad do you want it? Like, I'll get
Mm,
up extra early in the mornings to work on my other job before my teaching job because that's
exactly.
how bad I want it. That's just the sacrifice you have to make, to get to where you
Yep.
want to get to. Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
No, I totally agree. Okay, so guys, wow. Dariana has taught us so much. So
Oh,
guys, you definitely want to follow her for more and as well as check out her Kingdom coaching class. The link is down at the bottom. But you also literally if you follow Dariana, look for her name, but it's Teach Create Pray on Instagram. That's where I found her and that's where I tend to follow her. So definitely follow cuz all that information is there and you can always reach out if there's something that you guys want that's there, Kingdom coaching, you can't figure out how to get in or whatever. Trust me, like she definitely responds. She's not one of those people who are like untouchable. So I
I try.
definitely appreciate that.
Absolutely. I never look at my follower account and think that I'm above anyone. Like I could have 2 followers or 90,000 and I'm the same person. That's how I
Yeah,
look at it. And
right.
same with you. You're so relatable and just down to earth with a huge following.
Yeah.
You're not
Oh,
untouchable.
thank you. Yeah, that's how I choose to be because it works better. Like especially since we're trying to help people, then
Yeah.
you have to be present.
Yes,
So
for
I get
sure.
it. Yeah. But yes, so guys, definitely if you have a friend, the teacher friend, who may be, or even just an entrepreneur, because the Kingdom coaching
Yeah.
sounds like it's for everybody, not just
It's
teachers.
for everyone. Yep. It used to
Yeah,
be actually for women. Now it's for women and men and anybody.
that's
I mean,
awesome.
there's photographers, moms. I think I'm one of like the few teachers actually in there. So I would love to have more teachers in there if they want to join us.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, guys, that's amazing. And so literally, like what she said with Kingdom Coaching, it breaks down everything that you need to know for selling digital resources online. So like you guys don't want to pass this up. So definitely follow her at Teach Create Pray to learn more about all of these things. If you have a friend or a teacher or a business owner or entrepreneur who you think would benefit from hearing this podcast today, definitely share. It's going to be available audio wise on all podcast channels within the 24 hours. I always say tomorrow just to give your people time enough to find it. As far as the video version, they can catch that on Facebook immediately or on YouTube next day. So definitely share, guys, because this is amazing information. And Dariana, thank you so much again for being here.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. This was fun. My first ever
Yeah.
podcast. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Now, do you have any additional things you'd like to share or any
I do
last
just want to
remarks?
talk about faith really fast, like super quick.
Absolutely.
Because I had an Instagram account where I didn't talk about God ever for years and years. And I mean, it was successful. I grew it to like maybe 65,000 or so. But I felt just convicted that I needed to bring God into it because God is the most important thing in my life. I love the Lord. And I just realized that I
Yeah.
was missing out on sharing about him on this huge platform that I had. So I made a switch right around the time I started talking about digital marketing. I also started talking about my faith. And I'll be honest, I lost a lot of followers at first. People were probably like, what are you doing? Why are you changing your content? But I felt so much peace about it, and I grew so rapidly. From the 66,000 followers, I grew to 91,000 in a matter of months, which to me is pretty rapid. And again, it's not about the followers. I really don't care about the number at the end of the day, but just the fact that like by switching to something that I was really passionate about, the Lord blessed it, and He didn't let me down. He didn't let me down. You know, it just all works out. And now my people are finding me, right? My tribe, my Christ. Like it just feels so nice to be able to be 100% open about everything, including my faith. So I just wanted to encourage anyone out there that might be a believer, because I know it can be hard sharing about our faith on a public platform like Instagram, because I guess my fear was like, what if they talk bad about God and I have to defend the Lord? Like, I don't know. I just thought people are going to be nasty about it, but people have been so kind and supportive. I mean, you know, just unfollow or block the haters, but
right, for sure.
Don't be shy about talking about the Lord if He's important to you.
Yes, no, and I definitely, you're the one that gave me the inspiration to start doing it myself. So literally, I saw like, okay, wow, somebody else is in the same boat. They get what I mean. Like, it's so easy to feel like you kind of like cower back and like, oh, or just not share that or not say that because you don't want to lose those followers or, you know, and appeal to this. But it's like, we have to be so careful, especially because there's a scripture that I always reference now. I think it's in Galatians, and it says that if I were to please man, I wouldn't be a servant of Christ. And so it's like, who do you choose to serve? You want man's applause or do you want God's applause? And so, you know, making sure to stay mindful of that is just essential. So thank you. I appreciate you being bold, because you definitely inspired and encouraged me, girl.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Love your content. I think you bring so much joy to everyone's life. So I love that.
Thank you. I truly just love it. I love loving on people through comedy. So yes, thank you.
I can't wait to watch you in person one day. I'm going to go to one of your shows.
One day we have to make it happen.
That would be awesome. Well, thank you again for the opportunity.
No, and thank you again for being here. Seriously, I know that being a mom and a teacher and your evenings are precious. So thank you so much for taking time out of your evening to be here.
Thank you. Yeah, no problem.
All right. Well, we were going to say goodbye to you, Dariana. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, guys. So that was Dariana. Isn't she a wealth of knowledge? Oh my gosh. I bet you guys are like, wait, say what? Right? So mind-blowing, the things that she shared. So guys, definitely check her out at Teach, Create, Pray. You will not be sorry. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode as per usual. And that you guys tune in next week. We're going to have Miss Anna Kowal. I think I said her name right. Anna, don't shoot me if I said your name wrong. But Miss Anna Kowal, she is on Read Away with Miss K on Instagram, and she's going to be talking to us about top tips for classroom management, which can be craziness. Am I right? Around the holidays. So thank you so much, as always, guys, for being here. Without you guys, it would just be boring. All right, guys. Season 5, episode 7 is out.